I've got one question for you. Are you ready to get your game on?
The longest-running off-road and action motorsports radio show on the planet is coming to you live with the biggest guest in motorsports. Here is the only man on the planet who can pack this much dirt slinging and tire slaying into 2 hours a week. Sit back, strap in, and be prepared to get your ears blown. Here is Jim Beaver and the Down and Dirty Radio Show.
Good morning and welcome to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, lit up by Rigid Industries and schooled by DirtFish Rally School. Once again, I am your host, Jim Beaver. And, talk about a great Thanksgiving weekend. Back here in the grind on another Monday morning. I can't really say it's a grind for me because I enjoy my job, enjoy talking with you and talking with some racers and fans and everything else. So if you want to talk with us, don't forget at JimBeaver15 on Twitter. Give us a tag. Shoot us your questions. We'll ask the guest questions. You can ask me questions. Shoot from the hip. I'll answer anything. Tell me you love me. Tell me you hate me. And, always looking for fan input. And I got to tell you, man, we get some wild questions from time to time, and I always look forward to them. Kicking things off, man, it's going to be a great show today. We got Mr. XP1K, the guy that has proven that the Razor can and will do anything. Mr. RJ Anderson, he's going to be on air here in just a few minutes. Also, later on in the show, we've got David Sterckx. A lot of you know him from the stage rally community. He's dabbled a little bit in Red Bull GRC, but David's going to be calling into the show. We're going to be talking about his big win at the Seed 9 Rally here a few weeks ago. And then we've got newly anointed Down and Dirty Radio Show reporter Dani Medin. She's going to be calling in from Duluth. We're going to be talking a little bit of Snocross from the kickoff up there in the great state of Minnesota. That's later on in the show. So lots and lots of fun. Hopefully you guys are recovering from your Thanksgiving weekend. Lots of turkey, lots of pie. I'm sure a little wine and some beer thrown in the mix for good measure. And hopefully you are back in the grind and tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show on this lovely Monday morning. Also, don't want you guys to forget, but 1 week from today, I will not be in the studio here in Arizona. We are going to be celebrating our 3rd anniversary. And in traditional Down and Dirty Radio Show fashion, that means we are blowing things up. And I am going to be in Park City, Utah, at none other than Ken Block's House of Hoon. That's right, Hoonigan Racing headquarters. Next Monday, we'll be airing live from Park City, Utah. So super stoked for that. We will have Ken on air. The rest of the guest list is a mystery at this point. I got to tell you, I'm working behind the scenes trying to pull some strings and get some great guests on air for you guys. Let me tell you, it will not disappoint. That's next Monday, same time, same channel, same website, same app. However you get a hold of the show, however you listen to it, we are going to be in that same spot, but I won't be. I'm going to be up in Utah, so definitely looking forward to that. And before we get into the show and get things rolling, though, I did want to make mention we did have some sad news over this Thanksgiving weekend. The off-road community and motorsports community as a whole lost his code name, as you guys know, in motorsports. If you knew him, if you're involved in off-road or motorsports, his name was Little Joe. Joe Aguirre is his full name, but definitely been around motorsports for a long time. Joe was the face of Goodyear for a long time, here on the West Coast, whether it be off-road, traveled to the Midwest with short course. He did some NASCAR and some drag racing for Goodyear, drove the semi, mounted tires, did a little bit of marketing for them, worked with the racers. Just an absolute amazing guy. Before Goodyear, he also worked with Firestone. So, those of you remember the Manny Escara 7 trucks from the 80s. That was, Little Joe behind the scenes with those Firestone Firestone tires for that program. So, Little Joe, he definitely will be missed. A longtime family friend of the Beaver family, been instrumental in our race program. I mean, we love our relationship with General Tire, but, in the past we were with Goodyear for well over 10 years, 10 to 15 years, I think we were with Goodyear, and had a close relationship with Little Joe all those years, and just a classy individual. And to be honest with you, it didn't matter what tire brand you were with. If you were a friend of the off-road community, you were a friend of Little Joe. So he definitely will be missed. Hasn't been out at the races the past 4 or 5 years. But he has definitely always been in everyone's thoughts. So, thoughts and prayers go out to the family of Little Joe. Definitely a sad loss for the motorsports community. So, moving forward, guest list today, RJ Anderson. We've got Dani Medin. We've got David Sterckx. Lots of news. We're going to be talking about that ISOC kickoff. We've got a big Best in the Desert race coming this weekend. So lots and lots happening in the month of December. Also got that snore race. And we wound up the World Rallycross Championship calendar this past weekend. So we're going to get into that later on in the show. But it looks like right now we've got RJ Anderson hanging out in the queue here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show.
All right, we are here with RJ Anderson, Mr. XP1K, Mr. Razor, Mr. Pro 2. Kind of got your hands in everything at this time, RJ.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely have been pretty good at keeping myself busy lately. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, let's first off, before we talk, we're going to talk a lot of razors today. I know coming off Camp Razor and the debut of XP1K2, but let's talk a little bit about short course, because I know this year you changed things up a bit. I mean, you've been a Pro Light for a couple of years. This year, changing it up, doing Pro Light and Pro 2. How was your first full year in Pro 2?
You know what? I can't complain too much. I was able to go out and start my own off-road team this year and run Pro Light and step into Pro 2, which in my mind Pro 2 is the non-heavy hitters of our sport. So Pro 4 is also an awesome class, but I think the Pro 2, the depth of the field is just so much deeper. And I'm racing against all these champions of the class, and I got fifth in points my first year. And while I'm there to win championships and win races, it's like I got four people in front of me have all already won championships in the class before. So definitely a crazy year, and doing my own team is fun to work, but I love it, and be able to get to step up to the Pro 2 class is just awesome.
Yeah, I know, talking about the work going into it, I know I was talking with your dad out at Camp Razor. He goes, RJ's nuts. I told him not to start his own team.
Yeah, he definitely has a lot of advice for me, good or bad, and so he knows how much work it is he's done in his whole life. But he's got a real job now, so he tries to help as much as he can. But he's got to go to work still.
Yeah. How has it been? I mean, you obviously grown up with your dad, and being around Walker Evans. I mean, you have two mentors there that, I mean, absolute legends in their sport. I mean, Walker behind the wheel, your dad, kind of running the team. I mean, it's got to been great for you just to be able to have some sounding boards like that.
No, it's crazy. Like, people all the time ask me, how do you get into racing? How do you make this work? You're 21. How do you go drive for a living? Because that's how I make my money, is racing off road and doing all my video projects and stuff like that. And that's exactly why, because of my dad, who I've grown up with my whole life, and has done this for a living his whole life. So he already knows what it takes. He's succeeded. He's failed. He knows. He already has contacts and the right and wrong way of doing things. And between him and then having Walker in my corner also is just like the dream team, already laid out for me, and I was just happy to be born into it. So definitely thankful to have those two guys on my side, because they know so much about our sport.
Yeah. Well, and I know it sounds like, I mean, your brother's kind of coming up and looking forward to getting into racing as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. He's doing some trouble car stuff right now, and we just got him going in the regular stuff now too, and he's already starting to do better every year. So got a couple cool things going for him this year also, and then he's signed with me on a Polaris contract actually this year. So he's going in the right direction, and hopefully get him
short course, kind of circling back there. I mean, how was it this year? I mean, both Pro Light, Pro 2, I mean, kind of mixing it up and running both. I mean, it was pretty tough as you as a driver/owner to do both. I mean, talk a little bit about that. I mean, because it definitely, instead of just being able to dedicate yourself to one, I mean, you spread yourself over the course of a weekend, mutually now.
Yeah, so honestly, when things are going good, it's not really that big of a deal. I have so much seat time in a Pro Light over the last 2 years. I'm pretty comfortable and know what the truck's doing. Running in Pro 2 definitely takes a lot of time and effort. Trying to go fast and keep up with these guys that are always running up front every weekend. It takes a lot of effort from me and the team. So that's just a challenge in itself. And I guess when things aren't going right at the races, that's when it kind of gets tricky. Trying to make sure both trucks are ready to go because they don't wait for us. So having two trucks under the tent running basically back to back during the weekend, it's not too bad on me as a driver. It's just the team and making sure everything's ready to go.
Yeah. Well, and looking at 2015, I mean, what's on tap? I mean, obviously Pro Light, Pro 2 again, running the full Lucas Oil schedule. You're gonna see you maybe dabble with Brandon and some other stuff as far as short course goes.
Yeah, I love going to Crandon. For anyone that hasn't been there, it's just you don't know until you go, and once you go, you're just like, this place is crazy, and it's kind of what our sport's all about. The fans just love what we do out there, and I wish more events we went to have spectators like we have out in Crandon. That just want to come buy team gear and hang out in the pits and get stickers and get your autograph. It's awesome. Those fans out there are so genuine. They just love our sport, and it's too bad out here on the West Coast we don't have as many fans that are so into what we do like they do out there.
Yeah, it's funny because, I mean, those people, those fans back there, they eat it, they sleep it, they breathe it. I mean, they know everybody's winning record, how many top 3s, top 5s they've had in the past 10 years. It's just crazy. I mean, these people are just like buckets full of knowledge.
No, exactly. It's crazy. People remember me from when I would go out there with my dad, and they always tell me stories of my dad and Walker, and it's just crazy how much they love our sport, and they love coming out and checking it out, and whether it's raining, freezing, cold, whatever, they stick it out, and they just want to watch the races. It's pretty cool.
Well, let's talk a little bit about, Razor. Obviously, you not only run Pro 2 and Pro Light, but you're super involved with Polaris on the Razor side of things, running some works. You've run Snocross this past year. We talk a little bit about, that and how it is switching back and forth between the Razor platform and say, a Pro 2.
Yeah, so they're, totally different vehicles. I run mostly all racing. I race in four-wheel drive in my Razor, and Razor's way more of a buggy than it is a truck with the motor in the back and the independent rear suspension and all those things. A Razor's definitely more comparable to some type of buggy than any of my truck racing. And a Razor has just over 100 horsepower, which is awesome for its power-to-weight ratio. But with the truck stuff, my Pro 2 just over 900 horsepower. It's definitely a different ball game. But I'm so lucky to get all the Razor stuff to just do all that because it's one of the things where they're my sponsor and they don't have to teach me how to promote product or anything because it speaks for itself. I love being part of the brand, and when I talk about places and why someone should buy it, it's all stuff I believe in, whether I'm sponsored by them or not. It's like these things are so crazy and they've came so far in such a short amount of time. It literally is just a race-ready race car, and they're so fun. And whether I'm out racing, I get to go driving for fun. I always have a blast and get to smile when I drive my Razor, where the truck stuff always is so much more high intense and with all the sponsorship stuff. But a lot of times when I get to go drive my Razor, it's just having a good time, and I'm lucky I get to do that. And it's funny because back in the day, I've been racing ET since about they came out in 2008, and I always used to people give me a hard time about being golf carts and stuff, and also people that used to give me a hard time, they always hit me up and are trying to get a deal on Razors, so it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it is funny how things come full circle like that. And I know, talking about, the Razor platform, I know, I'm thinking back, not this year, but the previous year, Polaris had me out to Camp Razor, and I'd never driven one of the new thousands. That's when, the out. And last time I was in one was like, and I come back, and I'm in it by myself. myself, and I come back, and he's like, well, I want to know what you think of it. I take my helmet off, and I'm smiling, and he goes, well, I know exactly what you think of it. And like you said, I mean, those things are just, it's mind-blowing what you can do in one of those with something that's just straight out of the box.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, like, yeah, you drive a trophy truck, and I drive a Pro 2, and it's just like, they're the best of their class. But when you can get into something so simple as a razor, and dump some pump gas in it, put your buddy in the right front seat, and go scare him, it's just, it's hard to beat it.
Yeah. Well, and talking about that, scaring people, I mean, let's talk a little bit about XP1K2, because, XP1K dropped last year. I mean, it was over the top. I mean, it was such a cool backdrop. I mean, you set a world record jump. I mean, running through the mines. I mean, you did some pretty hairball stuff, but, looking at XP1K2, I mean, you and Joey D and the Martellis, I mean, you guys raised the bar.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the goal with this project, It's not really for any other purpose other than, showing people what a razor can do, because really they're incredible machines, and that's kind of how these projects came about, is we just wanted to show people what they could do. We dropped the first video with the release of the XP1000, and now a year later we got to go back, and Polaris is kind of putting some emphasis towards their trail side of things. They just dropped the new 900, which is an awesome platform, and so we were able to go out to the woods and play around with some kind of downhill mountain bike feel-ish trails, and we had such a good time doing it, and set another world record, and did some more crazy stuff. Those guys, those Martelli brothers aren't scared to push you to your limits, but in the end it all turns out awesome, and when it comes out of the final product, I think everyone enjoys it.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I got to ask you about a couple things. I know you and I were talking out at Camp Razor about the jump, and I got to tell you, I mean, on the one that made the actual video cut, I mean, you literally, it looked like you flat bottomed that deal. And I know you said that was like your last take on it, and at that point you'd already broke the world record, right? But you didn't want it just to, you just didn't want to beat it by a foot. You wanted to beat it by a mile. So tell us a little bit about how that came out, because I mean it looked pretty sketch.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, doing films like that, there's so much more behind the scenes that goes on, than when it comes out and looks like everything was perfect and we did it all first try in the final edit. But we actually had some weather that was battling us, and so we came back to the location from our original film dates. We actually had to make an additional trip up there because we got rained out and had to go home. So we came back up, and we had a few stunts that we had to do, and only so much time to do it, because it's every time those cameras are running, it's just money. So we only had so much time to nail it down, all the rest of the stunts we got, and we're battling some other stuff, and so basically our time was up at the world record jump, and we had just crested where we had beat the previous jump, but it was like a foot or a couple feet or something, and it was like, man, we didn't come here to just like go 1 foot farther than the previous jump. That's just kind of lame. Still world record, but I mean a foot. So that ramp actually moved back. We can hook it up to the tractor and pull it back, but it was just the time that it was going to take to pull the ramp back to reposition all the cameras so that they could get the right shot. It was just going to be another hour project, which we didn't have. So I just asked Matt, I said, hey, if I just flatland this thing, you guys are going to use that? And he's like, yeah, send it. So I just went up the ramp even higher and never lifted the whole way down and sent it. So we were able to go probably a bit farther than the last record. So that's how that kind of came about, and why I went to flat.
Yeah. Well, and then I think the other one that's shocking, I got to tell you, you guys built all kinds of, I mean, I don't want to say set pieces, but I guess that's what they are. But, with a lot of the stuff in the woods, I mean, two things I want to talk about, actually. The grind over, I believe it's like a creek. I mean, how did that come about? Because that was, that was pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. I've thought about stuff like that before in a Razor or even in an off-road truck, but to go out and do it, I mean, that's sketch in itself.
Yeah. The grind over the creek, actually, the grind was something that Matt wanted to do. Matt Martelli wanted to do in the first XP1K, because they kind of came from a skateboarding background, so that's kind of where their vision came on that. And we weren't able to get it fit into the first video, but when we came back to this one, it was like perfect. We had all these logs laying around, and to set up a grind was just, it was almost, been crazy if we didn't do it. So we were able to set that up over the creek, and we didn't really know how it was going to work, to be honest, because it's just never designated if I was to go into the creek to go get me out of the car in case I was unconscious for any reason or something like that. But they made sure everything safety-wise was as good as they could get it. And luckily we didn't have any cops and we greased it. But yeah, that was definitely there's always just the what if factor, you know, that when you watch it on the computer, you're like, oh, I don't do that. Why? How come this guy gets to drive? You know, but when you're sitting there in your car about to grind it, you're like, well, if for some reason this log moves and I roll over and a rock comes through, knocks me out, I could drown right now, and that wouldn't be very fun.
Yeah, see, I compared to Mega Ramp at the X Games. Everybody watches Mega Ramp on TV, and they're like, oh, I could do that, I could jump that. It's so easy with a big roll-in. But once you're there and actually standing on a Mega Ramp looking down, you're like, holy crap, there's no way I do this.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I could guarantee you that, you know, anyone can go buy a skateboard, so anyone that wants to go do the Mega Ramp, all it takes is to go buy a $100 skateboard, and still every year there's only 10 guys that do it. So, yeah, it's crazy, that kind of stuff. Once you're there, you know, it's such a different feeling than just talking about it on the internet.
Yeah, and the last one I want to talk about, let's talk about, I don't know what the proper term is, the wall. You know, basically your big, you know, I call it, you know, it's like the dome of death. You remember the old movies where, you know, they've got guys in the motorcycles in a dome and they just keep going. I mean, you know, how did that come about? Because that's one, I mean, I know the Martellis really well, but this is really out of the box thinking.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Matt called it, the wall of death. And yeah, I guess it's been around for a while. And I, before getting there, had never seen it. Matt kind of talked about it yeah, we're going to do a wall of death here, driving a wall. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, it's not going to work. And so I got there, and they literally built this wall of death. It took 5 days to build. And it was a lot of work. I guess I'm like, there's no way this is going to work, you know, like driving a RZR on the wall. It's just not going to work, you know. And so we laughed about it, and when we got some rain, it actually filled up to that wall of death with a bunch of water, and we weren't able to do it at first, and that's one of the stuff we actually had to come back to. So for that whole time, I thought about it, like, what's this wall of death thing gonna be like? And I can't believe that it actually worked. It was crazy. I mean, it could have definitely used a little tweaking to made it look even cooler, but yeah, to drive straight up and down on a wall, and I couldn't really see anything, just staring at the ground and just wide open throttle as much as it would take. So it was a pretty crazy thing that I swore was not going to work, and somehow it did.
Oh, geez. Well, you know, let's talk a little bit, you know, as we kind of wind things down. But, you know, 2015, what's on the horizon? I mean, I know, you know, obviously you're going to be back racing RZRs in the Work Series, Terracross. You're going to be back there, Pro 2, Pro Light. Anything we're missing here?
Yeah, that's basically all on the schedule right now. I just signed a deal to do the Terracross thing for 2 more years. And one cool thing that I actually got going on is I got invited to the Frozen Rush event that they're doing, and it's the second year. Red Bull puts on the event, and it's up at a ski resort up in Maine. So January 9th is the race. So I'm pretty excited to get to go do that and mix up with some of the guys in Pro 4 out on the snow with we have studded BF Goodrich tires, and it's going to be a crazy experience. I feel like I'm at a little bit disadvantage being a Pro 2 guy and racing against all these Pro 4 guys, but I'm just excited to be given the opportunity to go do it.
Yeah. Well, you got to think, you know, you were saying, though, you know, your RZR, you run around in four-wheel drive a lot. I mean, obviously, you know how to drift one in four-wheel drive. Terracross tracks have been super slick, so maybe you'll be able to, you know, I guess bring in some of those skills.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm hoping for, is that hopefully, you know, I can adapt fairly quick. I know a lot of those guys did this event last year, and it's different than anything they've ever done, but, you know, hopefully I can adapt fairly quick so I can at least put a decent result out there for the Frozen Rush deal. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. As far as the truck goes, I mean, obviously I know you got a Pro 2 and Pro Light in the stable. Are you renting a truck for the event? Are somebody loaning you one? How's that working out?
Yeah, exactly. I'm renting a truck. We're still finalizing some deals and stuff like that with sponsors, and then you know, a couple of guys that have Pro 4s. They're not all racing them out there. So January's kind of an off time for the year. So I think they like kind of getting some money in while nothing's going on anyway. So finding a truck really wasn't all that hard. So we're able to just rent a truck just for that single event.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like you got a full 2015, my friend. Looking forward to hearing more about it. And, I guess right now, good luck at Frozen Rush. It's coming up here pretty quick.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm excited to get out there, and I don't feel very well with the cold, so hopefully it treats us okay.
Yeah, I know talking with a lot of the guys, I mean, it was just literally, most of the time his off-roaders were fighting heat, trying to keep things cool. And a lot of the guys were saying it was actually trying to keep the engines warm because with the cold weather up there, it was just the opposite, So definitely an interesting dynamic up there.
No, definitely. That's what they said. It's like it was hard to even get the truck started and stuff. They have to preheat all the oil systems and stuff like that. Put special additives and all the cooling to make sure nothing freezes over at night because it's so cold.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, RJ, and we will definitely catch up soon, my friend.
No problem. Thanks for having me. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks.
All right, always good having RJ Anderson on air and catching up with him on XP1K2 and talk about just an insane video. If you guys haven't saw it yet, you must be living under a rock. Jump over to utvunderground.com, Race Desert. It's all over Facebook at this point on theirs. It's on my Facebook page. If you dig down a little ways, go to YouTube, XP1K2. I mean, just insane. I mean, the way they've elevated things from XP1K1 to 2, and gosh, I mean, the sky's the limit on 3. As we've seen with Ken Block's Gymkhanas, you get a viral video going, and you keep getting better and better, and it gets harder and harder to one up yourself. So when you do, everything's just way over the top. So to me, what's amazing about it is the capabilities of the Polaris RZR platform. I mean, we're not talking $500,000 rally car or a $500,000 trophy truck. We're talking we're talking about a Polaris RZR that you can buy for $20,000. Now, obviously, RJ's has got some modifications to it, but by and large, not a lot. Not a lot different than what rolls off the showroom floor. So, to me, that's what's very cool about RJ's is it's something that I can relate to. It's something you can relate to. It's relatable to the general people because we can actually buy that at our local Polaris dealer, whereas a rally car, I mean, yeah, you can go and buy a Ford Focus ST or a Subaru STI, or you can go and buy, a Raptor. But, we all know that they're really not anywhere close to what Ken Block or, say, BJ Baldwin drives or myself or anybody else. It's just, that's what's cool about XP1K is, how it relates to what you can buy at your local dealership. So good times. Definitely looking forward to Frozen Rush. Started things off with that demo from Ricky 2 years ago. Last year we had racing. This year more racing, and it's expanded. And I know they made a lot of on the fly revisions. Last year once they got to the event, I mean, drivers couldn't see with snow in their face and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to this year's because I'm sure they're going to have it perfected. They took a demo from Ricky, turned it into racing. Last year they had some problems with the racing. It ended up still being an amazing event. So going to year 3, they're going to know exactly how to tweak the track and the racing, so it makes it even more exciting for the fans. So I'm looking forward to it. Definitely one of the big off-season events that you off-road fans are looking forward to, and especially now, getting guys like RJ involved, who isn't a traditional Pro 4 racer, but getting him up there, it's going to be awesome, man. Let's talk about a great entry list of drivers. One of these breaks, I'll see if I can pull it up online and give you guys the rundown of it. But it's a huge entry list of drivers. Keeps growing and growing, and looking forward to that event here in just really a few weeks. So we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to have Dani Medin Medin, new Down and Dirty Radio Show reporter. She was up there at the AMSO Duluth Nationals kicking off Snocross season. She's going to be calling in. She was up there with Race 1 Online. So, go and skip over to Race 1 Online, check out their videos during the break. But we're going to have her on air breaking things down when we come back. So thanks for staying tuned to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, lit up by Rigid Industries and schooled by DirtFish Rally School.
Rigid Industries is the original and #1 LED light bar manufacturer in the world. Torture tested by some of the best drivers in motorsports. Rigid LED lighting products use cutting-edge technology and can stand up to the harshest conditions Mother Nature can dish out. Designed, engineered, and assembled in the United States, Rigid LED lighting is the only choice for your off-road vehicle or boat. Find out more information on the entire line of Rigid Industries LED lighting products at www.rigidindustries.com. DirtFish Rally School is the premier rally driving school on the West Coast, located in Snoqualmie, Washington. If you're looking for a ton of fun with world-class driving instructors honing your skills, DirtFish is the place for you. DirtFish has 315 acres of playground with mixed surfaces for your driving experience. You can spend anywhere from 2 hours to 3 intense days of instruction refining your driving and racing skills. Whether you are looking for credits towards your Rally America license, honing your racing skills, or just having a fun time, DirtFish is your school. Your classroom is behind wheel of a 300 horsepower rally-prepped Subaru STI. These cars have protective cages, suspension modifications, and are built for one purpose: to push you to your limit. By the end of your time at DirtFish, you will have the confidence to rally with the best. Whether you're looking for a thrilling first-time rally experience or to increase your knowledge and time in the driver's seat, DirtFish has a driving experience to suit your needs. For any information on their classes, corporate events, or their facility, check them out on the web at www.dirtfish.com or on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at DirtFish Rally. Very few companies can call themselves an industry leader. Racetech Seats is one of the few. It doesn't matter if you race off-road, rally, touring cars, sprint cars, drag racing, or boats. Chances are, Racetech Seats have a seat that will keep you safe, secure, and comfortable, allowing you to concentrate on winning. Racetech Seats meet and exceed the FIA crash test standard, are Hans compatible, flame resistant, and offer full containment, meaning you can race knowing you are protected by the best. More information can be found at www.racetech-usa.com. That's www.racetech-usa.com. Racetech Seats. Our passion is keeping you safe.
Okay, when you're on the job, you're making tough decisions around the clock. Well, here's an easy one. Ford F-Series. Under the hood, F-Series trucks have the power and fuel efficiency you need. Translation? You can always tackle the toughest jobs without losing a fortune at the pumps. But it's not just all brawn and no brains. F-Series trucks also have a cutting-edge selection of smart technology that keeps you connected, focused, and informed, all while behind the wheel. That's why, on average, every 42 seconds, someone forks over their hard-earned cash to get a new F-150 or Super Duty. No wonder they're the best-selling brand of trucks in America for 37 years in a row. The competition never stood a chance. Ford F-150, Ford Super Duty. #1 for 37 years straight. Not convinced? Get behind the wheel of an F-150 or Super Duty and decide for yourself. Go online to your local FordDealers.com, then visit your Arizona Ford dealer for a test drive today. Based on U.S. sales from October 2012 through October 2013.
welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, lit up by Rigid Industries and schooled by DirtFish Rally School. I'm your host, Jim Beaver, and man, talk about a great show today, and it's going to get even better. We've got Miss Dani Medin calling in from the great state of Minnesota. She took in some Snocross, a kickoff in Duluth over the weekend. How's everything going, Dani? Yeah, I know. I guess it was a bit cold up there. I know talking with some family that's up there and then just talking with you, it seems like definitely made for some interesting race conditions, right?
I mean, the riders we were definitely feeling it on Sunday compared to Saturday, but even Friday night was pretty good. There were a ton of fans there. I was told by Amber that there was record attendance on Saturday, so that's great for the series, great for, all the teams that are coming into the new season.
Yeah, and in talking about that, I mean that's it's pretty solid to hear. Record attendance. I mean, this series, it seems like every year to me. I mean, it's getting. This is the premier Snocross series in pretty much in the world, but it seems like in the United States, it was kind of a niche motorsport there in the Midwest, and it seems like it definitely has grown both nationally and internationally. And I mean, a lot of these riders. I mean, a lot of people know Levi, they know Tucker, but it seems like a lot of these other riders, these younger up and coming riders. I mean, they're getting a lot of recognition nationally now.
I knew it was phenomenal. And there's a couple of other names, that are new to me. And then several others, that have been around for 10, 15 years. So it's great to see all the new people. It's great to see all the old faces like Scott Martin, who are still there. I got a chance to talk to him, and he was kind of funny. He said, Dani, out of rest. I said, no. He was like super old. I'm like, you don't know everything. You're better than me, but, the sport,
Yeah, it's demanding. I mean, it's a lot like Supercross, and you hate to say it, but at 30 you're over the hill, and it's really crazy to say that, but I mean, I mean, you were a Snocross racer. It takes a toll on the body.
It does. I was definitely feeling it on Friday, and we're only there for basically Amber Dominator. Probably on the hour. Let's say I was at the best of the hours. I felt like someone was taking a hammer to my knees and my back on top of that. I was like, I don't feel that I'm not racing this anymore. I don't even think I could handle like a lap out there, to be honest.
Yeah. Talking about the Amsoil Dominator, I know, what separates Duluth from, a lot of the other races on the schedule is the Amsoil Dominator. For some of the fans maybe not as familiar with that as they are traditional racing, I mean, kind of break it down and walk us through what happened this weekend.
It was the fourth year of the Amsoil Dominator. Ross Martin took the win of that the first 2 years. Tim Tremblay took the win the past, this year and last year. So both of them had back-to-back wins, and I did a quick interview with Tim Tremblay, and it's like, what's going to happen in the fifth year? Both you and Ross have won the Amsoil Dominator 2 times. Fans are loving it. People say it's almost more exciting than watching the actual finals. And I kind of like it, too, because it's just a different style of racing, and it creates so much excitement. I think for fans and for me in particular, there was the race of Cody Cam and Tim Tremblay, and the flag man. I mean, nobody knew who won this. If it wasn't for live, scoring in the transponders, they would have had to redo that speed, and they would have had to recompete against each other. I think Cody took the win by like 300ths, Tim took the win by like 300ths of a second or some crazy number like that. But the flag man dropped to the ground on the tabletop and was waving the flags all crazy because, I mean, nobody knew who won that. These head-to-head battles are so exciting, I think, for even the drivers, the fans, the teams, everybody.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, me as a fan, and I was tuning in, over the weekend, on the online stream. And that's one thing I love about Snocross. They got, an awesome online live stream. But one thing I like about the Dominator, and no offense to Tucker, but I like it just because it seems like it's always somebody other than Tucker that takes the win.
Exactly. And fans love that too. And as you've seen, Tucker dominated this weekend. But, on Saturday, he had to work through it. He didn't get a great start. It took him at least over half the race. They did get in front because Cody was leading that, battling with Pauline. And that was great. There's Logan Christian I think he's going to be that underdog this year, that there's going to be a lot of good things happening for him as long as he stays healthy. Kyle Pauline, a whole shot guy of the weekend. I think every time I watched the race, he was killing it. The Huntington boys had a great day on Saturday. I think there's good things in store for them. I mean, everyone's healthy right now, and that helps. Coming out of Duluth, that's even more important to stay healthy because, this sport takes a toll on you.
Yeah. Well, and talking about that, I know, both, Kyle Pauline and Cody Cam. I mean, everybody last year, it was topic of discussion, who's going to step up, who's going to be that guy to finally dethrone Tucker. And obviously Tucker came out of the box in traditional Tucker fashion and just dominated. But, I mean, Pauline, Cam, we've got some of these younger guys that, I really think over the course of this year, as they hit their stride, I think that they're going to make a run at Tucker and possibly take some wins away from him.
Well, talking about that, I remember in qualifying on Saturday, I do believe, Corin Todd, it's his rookie year. He came out swinging. He was beating Tucker in one of the qualifying rounds, and I think if it would have had one last lap, I think Corin would have taken it. But I definitely think in qualifying, that's where people are shining. That's where Tucker has his work cut out for him because there's a lot of good, fast guys. And then in the finals, he has to work for it. I interviewed him, on Saturday, and I said, what about your competition? And he basically said, it's not coming easy. Everyone's getting faster. But he did win on Sunday that, there's round 2. I think he had a 9-second lead at some point, and then I think he ended with like a 7-second lead. But being fast as usual, he's definitely got the target on his back. But Kyle Pauline and Cody and, a handful of other people, he's got his work cut out for him this season.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And it already seems like, he knows it too. And he's a victim of his own success, but it seems like, riders, they may cut each other a little slack, but when it comes to Tucker, it seems like, elbows out, maybe just even a little more than normal. They're definitely gunning after him and he realizes that.
Exactly, but I have to talk about Pro Light. I think I'm going to say Polaris has it. From Trevor Layton basically dominating qualifying both days. He just didn't have luck in finals. He crashed in, the first round Saturday. He went down pretty hard. We actually watched the footage. But if I could predict the future, Trevor's going to win a Pro Light championship. He's got it for how he started. You see James Johnson, Andrew Carlson, all these top names. I got to mention Corey Watkinson, on the cat sled, Tyler Adams with, Arctic Cat. There's some good guys in Pro Light. It's going to be interesting how it shapes up.
Well, and drawing the comparison to say Supercross and motocross and 250s. I look at this Pro Light field and, and I'm getting excited because I'm looking 2, maybe 3 years down the road at the Pro Open, class. And I'm going, man, let's talk about, some of these young kids. It's going to be a stacked field in the big class here in a couple of years.
Exactly. Corin Todd proved himself right there. I've known Corin for a couple of years, and I was very, very impressed at how he came out. I was surprised. Granted, I don't make every Snocross race like I used to. I still catch the live stream that happens. I do PR for the Henches Racing Crew, but I was very impressed with Corin Todd.
All right, so through the first 2 rounds, we've seen obviously Tucker dominate. We're going to have a battle in the lights. And moving forward to Fargo and further on down the season. What are some of your predictions for Fargo and then further out?
Duluth is one of the toughest, longest tracks. I think it's one of the best races in this series. Tucker's not going to win them all. He's not going to. Cody Cam, not just because I'm a Henches girl, he's got it in him. He's proven himself time and time again. He's going to be up there. Justin Broberg had an awesome day on Saturday. He tweaked his knee on Sunday. Not bad, but that's kind of the reason why I think his final results were the way they were. I just don't want to underestimate people like, the Justin Brobers, the Logan Christians, because they got it in them, and there's a lot more racing coming.
Well, and here's a question for you. I mean, looking at this season, and obviously the big off-season news was Levi taking a step back from actually racing. But heading into X Games, I know he's thrown his hat back in the ring. He's going to be, defending multiple gold medals. He's going to be competing in Snocross. I mean, I know him. He's battled health issues and everything else. What are your feelings on Levi? A couple races down the road at X Games, he's going to be 100% healthy, rested, and definitely a wild card heading into X Games, don't you think?
Levi's going to put it all in. He's going to go all out. Everybody knows that, especially like you said, with him staying healthy. I interviewed all of the guys in his team this year, from Andy Leaders to the boys, and I think they're saying Levi still has it, no doubt. Especially, they think he's healthy, and he's going to put everything in for those races to bring home more medals, and that's his goal this year. I mean, he's stepping back to announce, for the series. But he's heads on and in the game with his crew and his guys, and it's all just going to help him in the long run. I think he's going to do fine, but I once again, I think there's going to be some other names though that, since they're still training, harder and they're still racing so fast, that he's going to have his work cut out for him. But he's definitely going to go all out.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Duluth's a wrap. I know you're getting ready to hop on a plane. What's next for Dani Medin?
We might be in Fargo. There's word that Race 1 Online will be in Fargo, but if I'm not there, Chris will definitely be there shooting. We're going to be in Shakopee for one more, and that's the Henches Racing's hometown race on top of another home stop for me, so that brings me home. It's pretty close for Chris, the founder and videographer for Race 1 Online. I'll be at Shakopee, and that might be the last one that I'll make because Supercross is going to be right around the corner.
Yeah, and talking about Race 1 Online, all these interviews we talked about. Where can people go and catch all those from you and Chris at Race 1?
Be sure to get on our Facebook page with us. Social media is everything these days, and we're constantly posting new videos. Trying to give you guys content from one race to the next. So add us on Facebook. Race 1 Online. We also started our Instagram page, which could use some more followers and some more likes and some more hype. So just get on the Race 1 Online, online, Facebook, Instagram. That's pretty much what we use.
All right. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you calling in from Duluth, and I guess I didn't do it to start things off, but I welcome you. Thanks for coming on board, and know we're going to have you on air from time to time, talking a little snowcross, maybe a little torque and everything else. So welcome to the family, Dani.
Awesome. Thank you. And any Down and Dirty Race fans, be sure to follow me as well. It's pretty much Dani Medin on everything. So I look forward to meeting most of you guys at the races. All
right. Thanks a lot, Dani. Have a safe flight back.
Yeah, I'm heading back to 80. Can't handle this cold anymore.
I know you. Yeah, it's funny. You get used to living away from Minnesota, then you go back and like, holy crap, how did I do this all these winters, right?
Yeah, as Chris says, I lost my Minnesota white meat.
All right. Well, you have a great flight home.
Awesome. Thanks. We'll talk to you all soon.
All right. Thanks, Dani. All right. That was Dani Medin. With travels with Race 1 Online, travels with Amsoil, does some torque stuff, does a lot with Race 1 Online, and she gave the shout out, and so did I. But definitely skip over there, Race 1 Online. Those guys putting up some amazing content from both short course and snowcross, and a lot of events in the Midwest. But it definitely does. If you're listening to this show, you're a fan of the culture. You skip over there and check out their videos. They do a lot of behind the scenes stuff, interviews with teams, drivers, and riders, and some pretty cool stuff. And Dani, kind of the face there. Chris doing a lot behind the scenes, but solid people, and definitely give them a follow on social media as well. But kicking things off for 2014/15. Amsoil Snocross Series, and I got to tell you, it looked a lot similar to to last season. Both the Dominator, both both rounds of racing action. It's like deja vu all over again. But for those of you that didn't tune in online, and like I said, I mean, Snocross, I love it because, they have their package with CBS Sports, their TV package, but doing a killer job with their live stream and putting as much work and effort into that as they do their TV program just about. So good, solid stuff coming from the people at the Amsoil Championship Snocross Series. But we had racing, actually 2 rounds of racing and the Amsoil Dominator. Amsoil Dominator, as we talked about with Danny, it's an interesting race. It's head-to-head format, bracket-style racing, eliminations. They go, NCAA tournament. You guys all know about that. They basically start out with 16, go down to 8, go down to 4, 2. Winner takes home $10,000. So last year it was all Tim Tremblay, and once again, as Danny said, it was all Tim Tremblay. So the Dominator, Tremblay back to back, he is the man to beat going into next year's Dominator. Interesting note, though, everybody goes, wonder what happened to Tucker Hibbert. Tucker Hibbert got an upset in the first round of the Dominator by Brett Turkett. And it was, it was definitely a bit of an upset. I know Tucker sounded like he went in guns a-blazing, maybe punted Brett off the course, or Brent off the course. But, it was, So Tucker eliminated by Brett in the first round. And definitely won. Everyone was like, wow, But that was the only elimination of Tucker Hibbert on the weekend as we go into round 1 and round 2. It was all Tucker Hibbert once again. The good news for you Snocross fans, and I love Tucker. I mean, don't get me wrong. The guy is solid. He's got the Ryan Villapoto thing going on where, it's not most people, it's exciting when they win. I don't want to say with Tucker it's exciting when he loses, but it's kind of got to that point because he wins so much. It's like, wow, he lost. Who won now? It's definitely that way, and he's become an institution at the top of the Snocross rankings, and he's just dialed. Tucker is that good, and, and he's just fast. And like Danny said, I mean, he's got a target on his back, and these young guns definitely looking to knock him off his perch. But, Pro Open, day 1, Saturday, Tucker Hibbert taking home that win. Cody Cam taking home that second place on the Polaris, and then Kyle Pauline, Team Lavallee sled, in third. Tim Tremblay coming off that Dominator win, finishing up in 4th. Logan Christian 5th. Broberg, Lemieux, Jonas, Thompson, Stenberg rounding out your top 10. So going over to Pro Lights, your Pro Lights for the first round of racing. It was Elias Isohel. I'm trying to get this name right. Apologies, but somebody got one of these riders skipping over here from Europe and surprising everybody, taking home the win. So apologies on the name. Still learning the name. I thought some of these GRC drivers were tough to figure out their names, but Elias. I'm sorry, but definitely a solid win for him with Warner Racing. Jake Ango finishing up in 2nd, Travis Kern 3rd, Andrew Carlson 4th, Travis Mueller 5th, Zach Mason, Martin Mullen, Kevin Wallenstein, Chase Rosemeyer, and Nick Patton rounding out your top 10 in the Pro Lights. So skipping forward to Sunday and Pro Lights, it was Ryan Springer taking home that win. Zach Mason 3rd, Andrew Carlson 4th, Andrew Carlson 3rd, Trevor Layton 4th, Corey Watkinson rounding out your top 5. And then moving over to Sunday and your Pro Open round 2 to cap off the weekend, it was once again Tucker Hibbert with the big win. So back-to-back wins, rounds 1 and 2 for Tucker Hibbert. Andrew Leaders in 2nd. I'm sorry, that was heat number 1. But Tucker Hibbert took the win. Kyle Pauline took second. Lincoln Lemieux third. Cody Cam fourth. David Jonas in fifth. Tim Tremblay sixth. Logan Christian, Jake Scott, Adam Renheim, and Justin Broberg rounding out your top 10. So your point standings at this point in time, it's all Tucker Hibbert up atop the point standings. So Kyle Pauline, he is in second. He's in second, and then we've got Cody Cam in third, Tim Tremblay, and Logan Christian rounding out your top 5. So it was a solid weekend of racing. I think a lot of the storylines going into this weekend, as Danny said, it's Tucker. Was he going to be as dominant? Who's going to step up? Looks like we got a couple of Polaris sleds. With Cody Cam and Kyle Pauline, piloting them that have definitely stepped up their game and looking to knock Tucker off. So. Tim Tremblay, he's looking solid there in fourth, in fourth in the point standings, and especially coming off that Dominator win. So just kicking things off here with AMSOIL Championship Snocross. Duluth here in a couple of weeks. Definitely going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And, it's definitely been an exciting 2 rounds of racing. Like I said, no matter where you're at, they kill it on the online live stream. So check it out, isocracing.com. And CBS Sports will be airing all those episodes later on this year. But they do a solid job with the live stream. So it's been a solid I guess show so far. And we still got lots more. We got David Sterckx. He's going to be calling in here in about 30 minutes. We're going to be talking with him and breaking down some stage rally and maybe talk a little bit of Red Bull GRC with him. Still got a lot of news. And we got a slam-packed DirtFish Rally Report coming up after the break. But, I don't know. ISOC Racing, stoked to have Dani Medin on board calling in. Those of you Snocross fans, you're going to love it because we got a lot more Snocross coming at you in the next couple of months. But as we go into the break, I wanted to make mention, and I didn't know about this before we went to air, but got a text from our friends at Impact Race Products and Mastercraft Safety. You off-roaders know Mastercraft Safety. A lot of you know Impact Race Products. 4 years ago today, Impact Race Products was bought by Mastercraft Safety. Combined companies now mostly under the Impact brand. Mastercraft still alive and well with a lot of their suspension seats technology. But good friends of the Down and Dirty Radio Show, solid people. And they're celebrating their 4-year anniversary today as a combined company. So congrats goes out to our friends at Impact Race Products and Mastercraft Safety. Do a lot behind the scenes to help the Down and Dirty Radio Show. Sponsor our Pit Crew Challenge we put on at the downtown experience at the Parker 425. Good partners of mine. I won't wear anything but an Impact suit or helmet. And, give back to motorsports, all different types of motorsports. So congrats on their 4-year anniversary today. We will be back after this break. Thanks for staying tuned to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, lit up by Rigid Industries and schooled by DirtFish Rally School.
Rigid Industries is the original and #1 LED light bar manufacturer in the world. Torture tested by some of the best drivers in motorsports. Rigid LED lighting products use cutting-edge technology and can stand up to the harshest conditions Mother Nature can dish out. Designed, engineered, and assembled in the United States, Rigid LED lighting is the only choice for your off-road vehicle or boat. Find out more information on the entire line of Rigid Industries LED lighting products at www.rigidindustries.com. The #1 off-road and action motorsports radio show on the planet now has its own app. The Down and Dirty Radio Show official app is now available in the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, and Amazon Kindle Store. Just search Down and Dirty Radio Show, and you'll have all the latest news, results, and blockbuster interviews from off-road, rally, drifting, supercross, and snowcross at your fingertips. Hours of interviews from the best drivers and athletes on Earth, such as Travis Pastrana, Ken Block, Tanner Faust, Brian Deegan, Robbie Gordon, and Jolene Van Vute are yours at the touch of a button. Download today and never miss an interview again.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners and for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Okay, when you're on the job, you're making tough decisions around the clock. Well, here's an easy one. Ford F-Series. Under the hood, F-Series trucks have the power and fuel efficiency you need. Translation? You can always tackle the toughest jobs without losing a fortune at the pumps. But it's not just all brawn and no brains. F-Series trucks also have a cutting-edge selection of smart technology that keeps you connected, focused, and informed, all while behind the wheel. That's why, on average, every 42 seconds, someone forks over their hard-earned cash to get a new F-150 or Super Duty. No wonder they're the best-selling brand of trucks in America for 37 years in a row. The competition never stood a chance. Ford F-150, Ford Super Duty. #1 for 37 years straight. Not convinced? Get behind the wheel of an F-150 or Super Duty and decide for yourself. Go online to your local FordDealers.com, then visit your Arizona Ford dealer for a test drive today. Based on U.S. sales from October 2012 through October 2013.
DirtFish Rally School is the premier rally driving school on the West Coast, located in Snoqualmie, Washington. If you are looking for a ton of fun with world-class driving instructors honing your skills, DirtFish is the place for you. DirtFish has 315 acres of playground with mixed surfaces for your driving experience. You can spend anywhere from 2 hours to 3 intense days of instruction refining your driving and racing skills. Whether you are looking for credits towards your Rally America license, honing your racing skills, or just having a fun time, DirtFish is your school. Your classroom is behind wheel of a 300 horsepower rally-prepped Subaru STI. These cars have protective cages, suspension modifications, and are built for one purpose: to push you to your limit. By the end of your time at DirtFish, you will have the confidence to rally with the best. Whether you're looking for a thrilling first-time rally experience or to increase your knowledge and time in the driver's seat, DirtFish has a driving experience to suit your needs. For any information on their classes, corporate events, or their facility, check them out on the web at www.dirtfish.com or on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at DirtFish Rally.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, lit up by Rigid Industries and schooled by DirtFish Rally School. I'm your host, Jim Beaver. Got done with Dani Medin. We've talked some Snocross, RJ Anderson, some XP1K, some Polaris RZR shenanigans, and leads us into the second half of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. Man, it's been a fun show thus far. Don't forget, hour number 2, we got David Sterckx lined up. He's going to be calling in here in about 30 minutes, and we're going to talk some rally racing with him. And we got a DirtFish Rally Report coming up here in just a minute. But as you heard during the break, our good friends at Race Tech, I know been a longtime supporter of the Down and Dirty Radio Show, but I thought I'd tell you guys a little bit more about Race Tech, because obviously they run some commercial spots on here, support my race program, and I got to tell you, I've used all kinds of different seats, and Race Tech, some of the best in the world. Check out their safety video. They've got it up on their Facebook page, their YouTube channel, and their website. But definitely some of the safest seats in the world. Use a little bit different technology than anybody else with the way they mount, and it definitely makes for a safer seat and a safer racing environment as the seats become a part of the chassis. But in addition to seats, and I got to say, you know, their seats, you know, all kinds of different options, everything from your base seats all the way up to full carbon fiber, you know, touring car seats that you see in some of the top touring cars in the world. You know, they made seats for Dodge Vipers. I mean, you name it. And most importantly, right, Jim Beaver's number 15 trophy truck they made a seat for. No, just kidding with you guys. But I mean, rally seats. I mean, you know, we've had Emma Gilmore on air, and I know she runs Race Tech in her race cars in New Zealand. Just solid company, solid people. But also, in addition to seats, and you know, they have a full line of harnesses, both the latch and link and your cam lock style harnesses. They make race suits and you know, racing underwear. Also got a full line of steering wheels. Make some solid steering wheels. You know, so those of you that are currently using other brands, when you go to find a replacement, definitely check out Racetech's line of steering wheels. Also got all kinds of apparel, hood pins, you know, bags, just all kinds of stuff. So good stuff coming from the people at Racetech Seats. And been a longtime supporter of the Down and Dirty Radio Show, and as well as my race program. Stoked to have them on board and their continued support. And you too should go and check out some of their products and tell them Jim Beaver and the Down and Dirty Radio Show sent you. You know, I know it's about off-season time. Start making some upgrades to your ride, whether it be off-road, drifting, rally, maybe just your street car. Looking for some upgraded seats for that. Definitely check out Racetech and tell them I sent you because solid people, and you know, they like to give back to motorsports. So, yeah, but right now we are getting into our DirtFish Rally Report for this week, brought to you by our good friends at DirtFish Rally School. You can find out more information on the web at www.dirtfish.com. And I got to tell you, DirtFish Rally School, man, these people, you know, we talk about cool partners, and I guess we're, you know, it's the, you know, Thanksgiving. We got to be thankful for things, right? And I'm thankful to have some amazing fans. You guys that listen to me ramble on for 2 hours a day. I think you're here more for the guests than you are for me, and I like it that way. But those of you, I don't know, maybe a few of you do like hearing me ramble like I am now. But thanks to all of you for tuning in. Yeah, definitely gotta thank our partners like DirtFish Rally School, and if you're looking for some rally classes, you definitely want to make your way up to DirtFish. I mean, you know, one of the best rally driving schools in the entire world, up there in Snoqualmie, Washington, and I got to tell you, me personally, I've gone through the classes and learned a lot. You know, you think you know how to drive, and then you go up there and you're like, oh crap, I learned something, right? I mean, you got guys like Pastrana, Lassick. I mean, they're going up there constantly. Dylan Van Way, and you know, they're constantly going up there and you know, and learning more and more. So you know, when you got guys of that caliber going up there to learn more, you know, any of us, you definitely have something to learn, right? But right now, if you are interested in going to DirtFish Rally School, they are running a Black Friday through Cyber Monday deal at DirtFish Rally School. 25% savings, 3-day class, $906 off, 2 days. 2-day advanced course is $750 off, $675 off a regular 2-day, all the way down 1 day, half day, and 2-hour classes all the way to $107 off. So super solid deal. I mean, almost $1,000 off a 3-day. It's unheard of. You can make your reservation today. www.dirtfish.com. Use the coupon code BFCM2014. It stands for Black Friday, Cyber Monday 2014. So BFCM 2014. That's BFCM 2014. And today is your last day to do that. So get in on it now and save yourself about $1,000. So now that we've got through our intro in our DirtFish Rally Report, it's time to get into some rally talk. And I got to tell you, rally talk, lots of it today. Starting things off, we had pretty much, you know, a couple of, you know, the last, I guess, biggest rallies of the year going on this weekend, and kicking things off was Argentina, WRX. the World Rallycross Championship event, and this has been a great year for definitely been a great year for the WRX series. I mean, breakout year. I mean, the ERC has been there for years, and now expanding worldwide, running an event in Canada, Argentina. They ran Istanbul. They've got some international flavor to it, and it's definitely been an amazing transformation for this series. I mean, it truly has. I've witnessed, I mean, people, on a global scale now knowing about the series, and, who didn't know about it before. So, it is a true international series. I mean, I feel that Red Bull GRC is a true international series as well. People worldwide follow along. I know I've got followers from Brazil and Europe, and they follow me just for tweets and the show and things like that about Red Bull Global Rallycross. So, Red Bull GRC's definitely got an international flavor as well. I think World Rallycross Championship does as well. I think both of them are, in my opinion, world championships, because their FIA WRX has that, I guess, that title. I wouldn't say either one of them is more lucrative to win. I would say as a driver, either one, means you're, a solid competitor. I mean, you look at the drivers that bounce back and forth between the two. I mean, Toppy won the championship last year in GRC, goes to WRX, finishes second this year in the championship. Ken Block, he's won on both sides of the pond. You got Tanner Faust, he's won on both sides of the pond. So, I don't think that either one is a better series as far as competition. I think both of them, honestly, are pretty equal. A lot of difference in the way, things are formatted and set up, and, and the way things, go down, but, over the course of a race weekend, but, the format, as far as heats and things like that go, but, I really think they're on the level with each other. I wouldn't say one's better than the other. Kind of goes back to the days of IndyCar and Champ Car. I think both of them were equal series. Both did things a little bit differently. Drivers bounce back and forth between the two, and if you're good at one, chances are you're going to be good at the other. If you're bad at one, chances are you're going to be bad at the other. So after this ramble on Rallycross, let's get to these results from Argentina, down there in San Luis, Argentina, wrapping things up with the WRX season. And once again, Peter Solberg found his way to the top of the box. He already had that championship wrapped up and put a stamp on the season with another win. Rainis Nittis finishing up in second place in the final. Kevin Eriksson in third, Timmy Hansen fourth, Topi Heikkinen in fifth, and Andreas Backerud finishing up in sixth. So, man, Kevin Eriksson obviously second in the GRC Lights Championship, took home the RX Lights Championship, moves up to Supercar, and boom, instantly takes the podium. So solid event for Kevin Eriksson. Any qualms about seeing him in a supercar, next season? I think, those rumors were put to bed now. He's in there now, and I think we're going to see him definitely in one, whether it's in Europe or in the United States next season. So Timmy Hansen, Topi Heikkinen, Andreas Backerud rounds out your top 6 point standings, wraps up. Peter Solberg takes home that first spot. Topi Heikkinen second. Rainis Nittis finds his way to the podium. Timmy Hansen and Andreas Backerud rounding out your top 5. So, great year for WRX. I know next year's calendar for them looks a little bit similar to this year, but congrats goes out to Peter Solberg on his championship. And I got to tell you, that is one guy I need to reach out to. Peter would be awesome to get on the Down and Dirty radio show. I think definitely be an awesome guest, and, especially, coming off this championship, I think it's time to try and reach out and see if we can get Peter on air. So the other major rally event of the weekend the Monza Rally Show happening over there in Italy. This has become a really unique event. It's a lot of asphalt racing, and this one brings in a lot of people from a lot of drivers don't normally run, rally cars. I mean, Valentino Rossi, he threw his hat in the ring. Those of you NASCAR fans, we had Kurt Busch. Yeah, that Kurt Busch. He was over there racing. So definitely a lot of different, personalities that you maybe don't see so much going over there and competing. But Robert Kubica taking home the win. Second place, very close second place, was Valentino Rossi. Stefano D'Aste finishing up in third, Roberto Brivio in fourth, and Alessandro Bosca finishing up in the top five. Sixth place went to Tony Caroli. Alessio Salusi finishing up in seventh. Alessandro Perico in eighth. Gigi Galli, Gianluigi Galli in ninth, and Ivan Spoldi rounding out your top 10. So a lot of you want to know where Ken Block went. Where'd Ken and Alex finish up? They were down there in 29th position. I know Ken got a penalty to his name, 50-second penalty. I know he was saying that not suiting his driving style very, very well. Kurt Busch did finish. He was down there in 33rd. His co-rider, Rhiannon Gelsomino, wife of Alex, good friend of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. We've had her on here in the past. She finished up in 33rd as the navigator or the co-rider for Kurt Busch. So congrats goes out to her. She got the nod to ride with Kurt. And got to tell you, there was 85 total finishers. So for Kurt to finish up, that's solid and only a few spots back from Ken. Definitely a good showing. Maybe we're going to see Kurt Busch in the dirt sports a little more often. So a great event over there at the Monza Rally Show. And definitely looking forward to catching up with Ken and talking about that next week. Definitely going to be a good show there at Hoonigan HQ, and definitely going to be talking a lot of rally and the Monza Rally Show. So DirtFish Rally Report. Man, it's been a lot of racing action. We're definitely winding things down. Like I said, DirtFish Rally Report. We're going to be doing a lot of rally raid coverage the next couple of weeks in the DirtFish Rally Report. But thanks to them for their partnership with the Down and Dirty Radio Show. And like I said before, Black Friday special going on right now. Black Friday Cyber Monday special going on right now at DirtFish Rally School. Go over to dirtfish.com. 25% savings. Use the coupon code BFCM 2014. BFCM 2014. And get your 25% off savings anywhere from $100 to $900. So, it was, definitely the time to book your classes is now at DirtFish Rally School. And that was your DirtFish Rally Report for this week, brought to you by our good friends at DirtFish Rally School. So, Kurt Busch, going over there and trying his hand at rally. And I got to tell you, Kurt Busch, he's, the guy, what more can you say? I mean, this year he's raced NASCAR. What did he finish up in 12th? I think 12th. I'm sure our listeners are going to correct me here on Twitter here pretty quick, but I believe he finished up 12th in NASCAR and raced the Indy 500, did solid there. Now he goes over to Monza, does a Monza Rally Show, does solid there. I mean, this guy is bouncing around. We want to talk about Robbie Gordon as one of the most dynamic racers in the world. I'm throwing Kurt Busch. I'm throwing Kurt Busch's hat in that ring, and as well as Valentino Rossi. MotoGP, probably the greatest motorcycle racer ever. And, he's tested Formula One cars. He's good enough to drive in that series. He's had job offers, throwing his hat in a rally car and finishing top 2. darn near took the win. I got to tell you, man, we got some dynamic drivers. So I got to tell you, there would be three of your top most diverse drivers in the world. I mean, Kurt Busch, he can do sprint cars, Indy cars, NASCARs, rally cars. Throw him in a trophy truck, I bet he'd be solid there. Travis Pastrana. I mean, we got, I think that's a poll we need to do. I'll put something together on social media or something, but I want to hear from you guys. Most dynamic race car drivers in the world, and you can throw motorcycles in the mix. Most dynamic motorsports athletes in the world. Let's say that. I mean, I got Robbie Gordon, Pastrana, Kurt Busch, Valentino Rossi. There's four. I want to hear from you. Let's put a list together, a top 10 list. I think I think that'd be kind of cool. I want to see what you guys come up with. Because there's definitely a lot. Definitely a lot to think about there. Ricky Johnson, Jeremy McGrath. I mean, they can ride bikes, they can ride off-road trucks. Where do they slide in at? Lots and lots to ponder. Another thing to ponder while we're at it, but Robbie Gordon, he has been very active on race-desert.com. Our good friends over there at racedesert.com. He's been really active on their forum lately. And he's been teasing for a while a pro trophy truck series, like a trophy truck world championship. And so he laid it out on Race Desert. The thread is called "What Would You Do?" And he laid it out. Formula Off-Road Pro Trophy Truck 2015 schedule. So he's basically banded the trophy truck guys together. We got to get Robbie on air sometime soon, talk Dakar and talk about this. That's all there is to it. But the schedule, looking like his schedule, going to be interesting to see how many trophy truck guys commit to this championship of Robbie's. Parker 425, Mint 400, the Nora Mexican 1000. I didn't see that one coming. Baja 500, and then a new race, Robbie Gordon's Off-Road World Championship, similar to the Riverside Mickey Thompson World Championships that they used to have at Riverside. Those of you, auto racing fans, you know Riverside from the 70s and 80s. Talk about an iconic venue there. Late host off-road, IndyCar, you name it. I mean, they had an amazing road course there, amazing off-road course, probably one of the best motorsports facilities in the world. They maybe even held a Formula One race at one point in time. Now it is the Moreno Valley Mall. Bulldozed one of the most amazing racing facilities in the world to build a shopping mall. Go figure. That's America for you. He's talking about something like that. Venue to be determined. It's going to have trophy trucks, stadium super trucks, Pro 2, Pro 4, Class 1, Class 10. Looks like he's going to throw a bunch of different classes in there. That's the event I'm excited to know more about. So I'm going to have to put that on my calendar to go and race it. And then capping things off with the granddaddy of them all, the Baja 1000. So, definitely some interesting news coming out of the Robbie Gordon camp on that one. And Robbie, a busy guy running an energy drink company, running a Dakar program, Stadium Super Trucks, owner of that, running a trophy truck program, now throwing, head of the new Off-Road World Championships, throwing that as another hat to wear. Robbie, definitely a busy man. But stoked to see this announcement. I mean, the schedule's out there in the flesh now. It says more information to come. I think Stadium Super Trucks or Robbie may be dropping some info today. Maybe dropping some more info today on a lot of what he's got going on. So be checking out, I would say, the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks social media feeds. Because more info supposedly to come today on multiple things. Maybe we'll get some Dakar announcements. I know a lot of you waiting on some big Dakar announcements coming out of Robbie Gordon. So, stay tuned for that at Robbie Gordon's social media feed, because supposedly that stuff is coming today. But, Robbie Gordon, Pro Trophy Truck World Championship has been Pro Trophy Truck World Championship has been announced, and we will be on top of that as we get more information. So, we're going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, David Sterckx, he's going to be calling in. We're going to be talking some rally, some global rallycross, and who knows what else here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, lit up by Rigid Industries and schooled by DirtFish Rally School.
Very few companies can call themselves an industry leader. Racetech Seats is one of the few. It doesn't matter if you race off-road, rally, touring cars, sprint cars, drag racing, or boats. Chances are, Racetech Seats have a seat that will keep you safe, secure, and comfortable, allowing you to concentrate on winning. Racetech Seats meet and exceed the FIA crash test standard, are Hans compatible, flame resistant, and offer full containment, meaning you can race knowing you are protected by the best. More information can be found at www.racetech-usa.com. That's www.racetech-usa.com. Racetech Seats. Our passion is keeping you safe.
Did you know that Parker Motor Company is one of the best places to shop for new tires for your car or truck? With a full tire shop and advanced equipment, we can outfit your vehicle with over 13 brands of tires, including Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Yokohama, Falcon, and General. We offer a low price guarantee that will meet or beat any competitor's price. We'll check your alignment for free, and we also offer tire care for any road hazards you may come across. If you need new tires, Parker Motor Company is your only choice. Parker Motor Company, your hometown Ford and Lincoln dealer.
Looking to have some screen printing, embroidery, or design work done? Intense Tees has you covered. Intense Tees provides the highest quality and detail for custom screen printing and embroidery services for corporations, schools, race teams, and all organizations alike. Complete line creation including designing of an entire corporate identity, product line creation, support promotions, product packaging, exciting banners, polos, tees, sweatshirts, caps, and vinyl decals. Intense Tees is the official apparel provider for the Down and Dirty Off-Road Show. Find out more on the web at www.intensetees.com. That's www.intensetees.com. DirtFish Rally School is the premier rally driving school on the West Coast, located in Snoqualmie, Washington. If you are looking for a ton of fun with world-class driving instructors honing your skills, DirtFish is the place for you. DirtFish has 315 acres of playground with mixed surfaces for your driving experience. You can spend anywhere from 2 hours to 3 intense days of instruction refining your driving and racing skills. Whether you are looking for credits towards your Rally America license, honing your racing skills, or just having a fun time, DirtFish is your school. Your classroom is behind wheel of a 300 horsepower rally-prepped Subaru STI. These cars have protective cages, suspension modifications, and are built for one purpose: to push you to your limit. By the end of your time at DirtFish, you will have the confidence to rally with the best. Whether you're looking for a thrilling first-time rally experience or to increase your knowledge and time in the driver's seat, DirtFish has a driving experience to suit your needs. For any information on their classes, corporate events, or their facility, check them out on the web at www.dirtfish.com or on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at DirtFish Rally.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, lit up by Rigid Industries and schooled by DirtFish Rally School. I'm your host, Jim Beaver, and we've been rocking and rolling today. We're getting ready to do a little interview with a man named David Sterckx. But before we get to that, I want to mention we are chatting on Twitter as we speak. At Jim Beaver 15, that's where you want to go. That's who you want to tag to get in on the chat. So if you've got any questions for David Sterckx, who is our guest coming up, be sure to tweet them in, and we'll get them on air. So man, I got to tell you, these breaks are kind of funny. I run some commercial spots. I get a chance to take a breather, take a drink of water, something like that. And I got to tell you, some of the stuff that happens. I mean, I get texts, about this, and this is breaking news and that. And I gotta, maybe before next year, I got to get a webcam up in the studio or something like that, so you guys can actually see what happens during a live show behind the scenes, because you guys would literally crack up. Some of the stuff that happens. I mean, people walking in and out of the studio, and just some shenanigans once in a while. And today was definitely no different. So maybe something before next year, I'll invest in a nice little webcam, and you guys can see what happens in here on a daily basis during the live show, because not only are we producing, or I'm producing, and all this other stuff, just all kinds of stuff goes on. Let me tell you, I run around like crazy for 2 hours during the show. So it's definitely interesting times. You never know what's going to happen here, and it generally does. But all good. And at Jim Beaver 15 on Twitter, we've got David Sterckx. Looks like he is calling in right now, and we're going to pick up Mr. David Sterckx. How is everything going, David?
Hi, pretty good so far.
Yeah, pretty good so far. Well, I gotta tell you, we've needed to get you on air for quite some time, and finally did. So I'm happy to have you on air finally.
Oh, but that's good. The longest we wait, my English gets better. So.
Well, let's talk about you, because obviously we'll talk a little bit about Rally America and some other things you got going on. But coming off a win at the Seed 9 Rally had to be pretty exciting to win that.
Yes, it was really nice, because we had a good year, but not crazy good, and it was really good for us to finish with a win, and this was a really good win. And we were testing with F1 Racing the new engine, and the engine was pretty amazing. So I'm really hoping that I'm going to be able to keep the car with next year, and to run that engine in Rally America.
Yeah, and talking about, this year, I know you've had some good results, some not so good results. I mean, kind of tell us a little bit about this season and some of the struggles you've had, and then some of the good things that have happened with you guys.
Well, the thing is that I drove in the Pirelli World Challenge, and some races were in conflict, so it didn't work too good for the Rally America Championship, but it's something that I really had to do, because I was racing in honor for Roger Rodas, and that's something I was really proud to do, and of course that was the priority this year. And so for Rally America, we did only some part of events, and we won the Super Production in Oregon, so that was really good. And then we switched the car in open class, but slowly. And of course, we hit some issues, but we finished all the rallies, so it wasn't that bad. But now the last one, we won it, and we didn't hit any issues, and it was really good.
Yeah, well, in talking about what you've learned, I mean, it sounds like you're pretty excited. So going into next year, I mean, you feel like you guys are going to have a good platform under you?
Well, of course, it's always the same problem. The main issue right now is to find the farm to run the car in the entire championship, and in the configuration that we want to do it. And if we get the farm to do it, then I would be really excited, and I think we can do something really good.
Yeah. Well, and let's go back, because I know, I know obviously, you've been, involved in some different motorsports. I know you also tried your hand at Red Bull Global Rallycross a year or so ago back, correct?
Well, the issue now it's I have first to finalize the possibility to run Rally America, and GRC, the Global Rallycross Red Bull, of course, it's something that I really wanted to do, but it's even more money.
Yeah.
And yeah, so what I can tell you is that I'm entered at Pikes Peak for this year. So it's the first time I'm gonna attend the event, and I'm really excited about it because my main experience it's of course tarmac, and it's pretty much like a rally tarmac stage. So it's something I'm really looking forward to do, and it's on a pretty crazy car. It's Skyton from HSU Racing that it's building a carbon fiber Evolution, and it's an amazing car. So I'm really looking forward to be and driving that car.
Yeah, and Pikes Peak now, I mean, somebody like you with a tarmac background, it's got to get you really excited to go and run that event with the entire the entire course being tarmac now.
Yes, no, that's gonna be really good for me, and with the road racing experience, the tarmac rally experience, the rally experience, I think it's I have everything to do something good there. I hope so.
Yeah, and so going back and let's talk a little bit about rally in the United States. I mean, I know in the past year or two, you've been in and around rally for a while now. I mean, how have you seen the sport kind of grow? I mean, it seems like this year in particular, obviously they've got the TV package and some other things. I mean, is that making it a little bit easier for you to go and get the funds to go and run?
Yes, definitely, because now, I mean, 2 years ago, when especially in Europe, it's pretty popular, but in the US, most of the people don't really know what it is. And now, when I say to people that I do rally, they look more aware about it, and sponsors also. And of course, when you go to a sponsor and you can tell them that it's on NBC Sport Network, it's for sure a plus.
Yeah,
it makes it way easier.
Yeah. Well, and talking about the C9 Rally, obviously you guys went out there. You walked away, with a big win there. I mean, how was that race? It's a little bit shorter, not spread over a lot of days. I mean, how was that event? Because Rally America, a lot of the national championship, you guys are running through forests and things like that, and the C9 Rally a little bit different as it's out in the desert.
Well, yeah, in Rally America, we usually we have like one pass in the stage, and we receive the stage from the organizer, and it's the Jamba note, and we do each stage once to twice sometimes, and here Seed 9 it was one stage, and we did back and forward 5 times, so it was of course way easier on the recce. But I did the rally here with John Reed, who's the engine engineer, and because we were there for developing the engine, and I usually drive with Karen Jakowski in rally, so it was a little bit different, but everything went through pretty smoothly, and yeah, we won every single stage, so I can't say that we had any issues.
Yeah. Well, and looking at 2015, so let's talk a little bit about what's on tap for you. I know you had mentioned you're going to be doing Pikes Peak, and then still trying to put together the full Rally America National Championship, right?
Yes. Well, Rally America, I'm gonna for sure. I can tell now that I'm gonna do some events. I mean, like the events that I like, Oregon Trail Rally. I participated 3 years and won 3 years in a row in super production. So of course that's a rally. It's the closest rally for us also. So that's a rally I really want to do. And then there's probably one or two other rallies that I'm pretty much sure that I'm going to do. But now financially I cannot guarantee that I'm going to do a full championship at this time.
Yeah. Well, and how's it been, you with a lot of tarmac experience? I mean, what brought you to rally? And once you were in rally, how have you been able to transfer your skills back and forth? Or was it kind of relearning how to drive once you got in the dirt?
Well, it's pretty natural what happened. It's like, so I used to rally in Europe and went Belgium champion in Groepen in Belgium. And so I quit racing when I moved here because the reason why I moved to the US is I'm a equestrian rider for jumping and trainer, and so there was the car of George Pulsek that was for sale, and it was like pretty close of where I live. And I said, I should go check that car out just to see how it looks like. And then I ended to buy it. And then I did with Karen. It's the first rally I did with her was Mendocino, and then we did Prescott, and we won Prescott overall. And then we bought the SP Subaru, and then we're in trouble again.
Yeah. So yeah, sounds like you've had quite a few wins. I mean, what out of all the tracks you've driven here in the States, I mean, what's your favorite rally race?
Well, I would say that Oregon is one that I really like since I won it. It's the best rally regarding results. But honestly, I like all of them, and they all have stages that have the quality of WRC rally stage. They are really amazing. We go at places where I would never go if I wasn't rallying, and sometimes we're in recce and we need to stop just to take picture of where we are because it's pretty crazy. So it's an amazing sport.
Yeah, it truly is, and I know that just from off road. I mean, sometimes we'll be out racing and and pre-running, which is basically our recce, and you'd be somewhere so beautiful you could just have to pull the car over and take a picture because you're like, oh wow, this is amazing to think we're racing here.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I wish rally in the U.S. could grow a little faster. And to have the attention of the public that it should have, because now it's pretty discreet. I don't know if we can say that in English, but in French, it's a sport that we don't talk enough about it, and to me in racing it's like it's a purist race. It's real racing.
Yeah. Well, and, in talking about that, I mean, do you feel like, Rallycross is kind of caught on in the United States a little bit and starting to grow? It's got some pretty big names. I mean, do you feel like that's helping? Do you feel like Rallycross is helping stage rally and kind of bring some attention to that as well?
Well, I that's what I thought maybe at the beginning, but now it ended up to be completely different, and it's mainly and they have like one corner on gravel. It's pretty short course, so it's just like it's the same car, but other than that, it's completely different because when you drive 120 miles an hour in the middle of the stage or at the edge of mountains, and it's completely different than on the parking lot in Vegas. But it's very spectacular, the GRC, and people love it. So. But it's way different. Yeah. I wish we could have live TV on rally, but that would be difficult to do, I guess.
Yeah, I would love live TV for rally. I mean, I'm just excited we finally got some TV at all for Rally America. But some type of live stream or live TV would be great. At some point. But here's hoping, right?
Excuse me?
I said, here's hoping that happens sometime, right?
Yes. I have a friend that came to the rally in Seat 9, and it was his first rally, and he can't stop talking about it. He loves it, and he's a car guy, and he went to all kind of races, and he really loves it because in rally also you're able to go in the pits and to talk to the drivers. When we are waiting in transit and before to go to the stages, people stop there and talk to us, and they can see the car. Sometimes we let them sit in the car, and they follow us on the social media, and they wish you a good birthday, and you have a real relationship with those people, and it's great.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I got to tell you, I appreciate you taking the time to call into the show today. Where can people find more information out about you? Social media? What's your website?
Well, it's on the team website, so always evolving, and then on my Facebook, it's David Sterckx and David Sterckx Rally Report. In Instagram, it's David Sterckx, and Twitter it's Sterckx Rally.
All right.
That's pretty much it.
All right, David. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to call in, and good luck in 2015, and maybe next year, especially around Pikes Peak, we'll have to get you on air and talk a little bit about that.
Okay, that would be great.
All right.
That would be great.
Thanks a lot, David.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye. All right, that was David Sterckx, rally racer, and great catching up with him. Winner of the C9 Rally a few weeks ago. C9 kind of run right around the same time as the SEMA show. Smart move on their part. I know entry list for C9 definitely grew this year, so I'm thinking maybe running the race around SEMA, the right choice for them. And, man, talk about a lot of events going on in Vegas around there. Had C9 Rally, Red Bull GRC, Baja 1000 qualifying, Stadium Super Trucks, 2 Stadium Super Trucks races. So, lots happening in Vegas that week. Everybody trying to get a piece of that SEMA action. So, it's been a heck of a show today, and we still got a lot more news coming up. And, I got to tell you, it seems like, right now all the news is like all these Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals. But we'll give you a quick rundown of them for some of our friends right now. But, Cyber Monday happening today. Rigid Industries, go to their website, rigidindustries.com. Use the coupon code CYBER2014. That's going to get you 5% off anything in the Rigid Industries catalog or on their website. CYBER2014. Use that at rigidindustries.com. And then our friends at Black Flies Sunglasses. I know all of you looking for some new shades. Black Flies, flies.com. They are offering 30% off. 30% off all orders today. Use the coupon code FLYDAY2014. That's FLYDAY2014. 30% off flies.com. So get yourself some Black Flies. Get yourself some Rigid Nation lights. And don't forget, DirtFish Rally School. They've got their Cyber Monday deal happening right now. Use that code BFCM2014 for 25% off. So lots of Cyber Monday stuff happening. And right now, we're going to get into the rest of the news. Got to give a shout-out to our girl, Jen Hellstrom, who we had on air a week or two back, and she is still in it for the Nitro Circus Dream Job voting for the tour reporter for 2014 or for the 2015 New Zealand tour, and she had to crack the top 50, and then to advance to the next round, she had to crack the top 20. She's grown from like the last person to submit a video. She barely cracked the top 50, and then it narrows it down to being in the top 20 at the end of the day today to make the next cut, and she's in 17th spot. So dreamjobbing.com, vote for Jen Hell. You can vote every day, and let's help One Off-Road Zone make it to New Zealand as a Nitro Circus official tour reporter. So super stoked on that, and thanks to you who have supported her. Also, UPR.com, be on the lookout. They are dropping a new site sometime in the next couple of weeks. So UPR.com, and that will be the location of that. Also, Score Awards voting. Right now, score-international.com. You can go and get in on that Score Awards voting. Lots and lots of great deserving people for those awards. Go and vote and cast your vote. And I guess it's only one vote per person, so make it count. Also, don't forget Fantasy Supercross, Down and Dirty Radio Show. We're going to host our first ever Fantasy Supercross, teaming up with those guys at FantasyActionSportsLeague.com. And that is going to be dropping. We're going to have some great prizes. You want to get involved in that, and be on the lookout for more information on my social media feed and at downanddirtyshow.com, because we're going to be making those announcements, and then you can find out what kind of prizes you can win. Also, Some UTV news coming out this past week. In a week with not a lot of news because of Thanksgiving, two big UTV announcements. Obviously, the UTV World Championships, that is on tap for February. Down and Dirty Radio Show going to be heavily involved in that. But Polaris RZR becoming the presenting sponsor of the UTV World Championships. Also, Mark Burnett, been driving a Can-Am this year in Best in the Desert and Score, took home a Mint 400 win. He is your Score champion. And he made the big announcement last week that he is going to be making the move to Polaris for 2015. So if you are a UTV fan, you know how big of a blockbuster this one is. Mark Burnett to Polaris RZR. Man, I think, I know we need to get Mark Burnett on air to talk about this because if you're a UTV fan, you know this one is a blockbuster. He's switching from Can-Am to Polaris. I mean, this would be on par with one of your favorite Supercross drivers riders switching platforms. So big news coming out of the Burnett Motorsports camp, making the switch to RZR, and he's building two of them. Count them, 1 and 2. And he is going to be campaigning one in Best in the Desert and one in Score. So running a full campaign of desert races next year. And, lots of big news coming out of the Burnett Motorsports camp. And, looking forward to getting him on air sometime very soon because that is big, big news. Don't forget, next week, we'll be airing live from Park City, Utah, teaming up with Ken Block and the boys at Hoonigan Racing for our 3rd anniversary show. Guest list will be announced later this week, but it's shaping up to be pretty darn epic. But you don't want to miss that show next week because those of you who are fans of the show, you've listened to our old anniversary shows. One from last year, definitely worth going back and listening to. It was that good. But, looking forward to yet another anniversary show, and this time airing it from Ken Block's in Park City, Utah. So should be very, very good stuff. So, it's been a solid day today. Dani Medin, RJ Anderson, David Sterckx. Lots of good stuff, and hopefully you guys had a great Thanksgiving weekend. I know mine was solid. I skipped out of town, went up to the mountains. I actually got to go to the North Pole experience, that is. So had a good time up there. Family went to Flagstaff to the North Pole experience. Basically, they transformed. You jump on these tour buses and they take you through the forest from Flagstaff out through the forest. You get to basically Santa's I don't know if it's village or Santa's workshop, and you tour these buildings where they build the toys and stuff like that. I got to tell you, they put a lot of work into it. The set piece is absolutely amazing. Had a good time, so definitely got me in the Christmas spirit. So speaking of that, I mean, talking about Christmas spirit, obviously next week the anniversary show, and then we've got one, maybe 2 shows. I'll have to look at the calendar after that before we take our winter break. But I want to know what you guys want to see in these next couple shows. Obviously, not a lot of events coming up, so we're going to be doing a lot of interviews, having a lot of guests. But I want to have some fun. I want to change stuff up a bit. So, we're definitely going to have some fan-driven content. What do you guys want to see the next couple of weeks? Hit me up at JimBeaver15 or drop me an email using the contact form on the Down and Dirty Radio Show website. But I want to know what you guys want to hear the next couple of weeks on the Down and Dirty Radio Show. If you got a guest you want to hear, let me know. We'll try and get them on air. But, what do you want? Some top 10 lists? You want some yearly recaps? What do you guys want to hear? We got Supercross, the dawn of Supercross coming up. We definitely need to preview Supercross. So, maybe do that one show. I mean, you guys tell me, what do you guys want to hear? Tweet me, Facebook me, Instagram me, email me. You know how to get a hold of me. Yeah, I make a mistake or do something wrong. I hear about it from you guys. So hopefully we haven't made a mistake, but I want to hear from you anyways. Let me know, what do you want to see more of? Because we got a couple of shows, and they're wide open, and I want to make it some fan-driven content. So, yeah, always some good stuff, and Christmas around the corner. Man, still got a lot of events coming up though. Yeah, we got Best of the Desert Henderson. That's this weekend, man. We haven't even talked about that. Obviously, I think Jason Voss pretty much got that Best of the Desert Championship in the bag. But that's coming up from Las Vegas this weekend, and race-desert.com. That's going to be your home for all things Best of the Desert Henderson 250. But yeah, Best in the Desert, we're wrapping up the season there. A lot of championships on the line, and lots to talk about there as well. We'll see what kind of trophy truck turnout there is. But yeah, Jason Voss, I think he's got that trophy truck championship in the bag. I think he's just got to take the green light to make that happen. Could be wrong, wouldn't be the first time, but yeah, Best in the Desert still got a major off-road race coming up. We got Snore Rage at the River. That's always a big one. The weekend after that. And then, obviously, Dakar. Right after the first year, we got Dakar kicking off, Supercross kicking off, and we just kicked off Snocross. And we've got Fargo coming up, and Fargo, always a great event up there in the Great White North, the freezing cold Great White North up there in Fargo, North Dakota. But yeah, lots and lots to come this winter. But yeah, let me know what you guys want to hear more of, and we will try and make it happen here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show. And talking about Best in the Desert Henderson, man, this race is always interesting. It's the end of the year, and not a lot of people pay attention. It's after the Baja 1000. People are kind of already thinking about 2015. It's kind of the forgotten race. I hate to say that, but it's a great event. It crowns champions. I know at one point it was double points. I don't know if it still is, but yeah, I mean, if you're looking for some time to kill this weekend, make your way to Vegas, Henderson 250. And this is always a frigid, cold race. Something about, where they hold it. Part of it is similar to the Mint 400 in course layout. Not completely, but, parts of it are the same. But it's always a frigid, cold race, man. Drivers having a hard time keeping the race vehicles warm. For some reason, the desert out there gets just ice cold, run two different heats, some in the morning, some in the afternoon. Going to be interesting to see, though. Best in the Desert Henderson this weekend. We'll definitely talking a lot about that throughout the week. But yeah, lots of good stuff. Lots of good stuff to come. Got to thank all of the sponsors that make this happen and our partners, Rigid Industries. Don't forget Cyber Monday 2014, 5% off at rigidindustries.com. Use that code CYBER 2014. Also got to thank DirtFish Rally School for their partnership of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. And don't forget, they've got their Cyber Monday deal going on as well, BFCM 2014. Use that coupon code, and it will get you 25% off classes at DirtFish Rally School. Also, UPR.com. Be on the lookout for that new website to drop. Blue Water Resort and Casino, Wakeboard Island. Race Tech USA. Don't forget about all those amazing products from Race Tech. Got to thank RJ Anderson, Dani Medin, David Sterckx, all of our guests today for making today's show happen. And don't forget flies.com. You're looking for some Black Flies sunglasses. Use FlyDay 2014. It's a coupon code at flies.com. Give me a follow at JimBeaver15 on Instagram and Twitter. Facebook.com/DownandDirtyShow or DownandDirtyShow.com for all our back episodes. Or check out our app available on Apple iTunes, Google Play, and the Amazon Kindle store. So, yeah. Talk about a great show as we put the stamp on another episode of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. Next week, we'll be airing live from the House of Hoon in Park City, Utah. So, yeah, you definitely want to tune into that. Same time, same channel, next Monday. We'll be throwing it down in Park City with Ken Block and a bunch of others live on air. Thanks to all of you for staying tuned, for listening in each and every week. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and hopefully you are recovering, didn't eat too much, don't have any heartburn or hangovers from the weekend. But, yeah, we will see you next Monday from Park City, Utah with Ken Block. This is Jim Beaver. Thanks for listening to the Down and Dirty Radio Show. And as always, it is game on.